What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo. Today we're going to tier 3 Taskmaster. I was really debating on if I want a tier 3 Falcon or if I want a tier 3 Taskmaster. And I really do want a tier 3 Falcon because I think he's an absolute monster. But I think that for a lot of players that they're just going to benefit a little bit more from Taskmaster, especially because of the fact that this guy can actually, pass over this uniform effect that increases damage dealt to supervillains and superheroes, which is pretty massive, guys. That's really insane because whenever you go into World Boss, and Null is who a lot of the players are facing, once you get to stage 10, you need males. And unfortunately, when it comes to just having males, we really don't have any supports other than Cyclops. I mean, that's pretty much our main support, unfortunately. So having Taskmaster is really going to help. Getting that extra 40% damage on the supervillains is going to be pretty nice, right? And the fact that he can do, respectful damage. And you can use him all the way up until, see here, you still need humans, so he qualifies for that. Then we get all the way up to 20. Once you get to 20, then you need a superhero where you can't use Taskmaster. So he can really put in a lot of work and help you out a tremendous amount as a support. I know that isn't what a lot of people really want to hear, but that is a big benefit. And not only that, but he will be a decent damage dealer. And since we're already in here, right now my Taskmaster is just at level 70, right? And there's nothing really special about him. He has a CTP of insight on him. And we're just going to use Zemo's leadership, the 60% increase of all attack. And by the way, guys, I tested Zemo a little bit already. Pretty underwhelming. He's pretty underwhelming, unfortunately. But then we have Shuri for the damage dealt to supervillains. And then we have Taskmaster, who's got the damage dealt to supervillains. So we got this great leadership. We got the extra support from Shuri. And then we got Taskmaster, right? And I'll just show you guys what he can do without any strikers here real quick. Just at level 70, I just get a CTP of insight on him. And if you notice, I really don't have a lot of crystals, so that's why I haven't switched it over to an obelisk. But I'll show you what he can do right now, at least with a CTP of insight. So we just hit the 4 and then hit the 5. We applied our all defense down. We got the damage accumulation, and boom. And in all honesty, the fact that he's a level 70 character and he's actually can do this kind of damage with a CTP of insight isn't as bad as what you think. This is actually pretty decent. I know it doesn't seem that well, but it's not bad at all, right? We're going to end up freaking dying here. Unfortunately, Proxima has Pierce. So, we did about a full bar, right? Now, I know that doesn't seem like a whole lot. And another reason I wanted to do that is just show you a difference between that and having a tier 3. So let's take a look at the build here. So the build's going to change, but we do have a stage 6 Power Ranger Hawk set, and I do have the CTP of Insight that increased damage by 20%. I only have 141 crystals, so I couldn't unequip this obelisk. I might have to make me a purchase if I want to do that. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see him played with a damage proc. I do think he would play fairly well with a damage proc, and I do have the uniform at Mythic. And as far as the uniform options, you got Ronin, Black Widow, Sharon, X-23, and then Beast for the last uniform, which I'm probably never going to buy. And whenever you take this guy to tier 3, you can see the difference in the stat bumps, right? He's going to get an insane 9,000 physical attack bump. That's a big physical attack bump. 9,000 physical attack, and he's going to get about, what, for 16,000 HP bump, which isn't bad. It's not as good as someone like Captain America or certain other combat characters. I mean, Captain America got a huge HP bump, massive. But let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera off for you guys so you can watch this. Nice, nice. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. So now we have 43,000, almost 44,000 physical attack. Huge physical attack bump. That's crazy. And then we have max attack speed. Our crit rate's at 58. Our critical damage is at 180%. Maxing our DPS, max skill cooldown. And we do have 53% dodge. And then we got that weapon master tag. And that's really important for him because that actually is self-buffing himself, because of his passive. We do have mythic physical attack Urus. I didn't put any other Urus on him. I actually could add some critical damage to increase his critical damage, but maybe I'll do that in another video. And they actually recently changed this guy to where they gave him this damage accumulation on his fifth skill. So you definitely want to be proccing on the fifth skill while you're taking damage. It doesn't go into an instant iframe. You're actually right in front of the target. So that actually works out really good. And this damage accumulation is good. It's increased attack by 10% for each 1% of damage taken. It's not like Sharon Rogers where you have, you know, increased attack by 15% or Luke Cage, but it's still pretty good along with the all defense down. That's actually really, really nice. The fourth skill actually gives him a nice 35% attack buff and then a 35% crit rate buff, which is really good. That means my crit rate is going to be maxed out every time I do the fourth skill. So you want to make sure you do the 4 and then cancel into the 5. The 4 doesn't cancel immediately. I mean, then we got the passive here, right? It's a wacky passive, right? Increase guaranteed dodge by plus 40%. I mean, that's fine, but then we got the 20% ignore defense. And then the leadership is a self-buffing leadership, which is actually pretty cool. So preview the skills here. Actually, we'll just preview this tier 3. We already know what the skills look like. Those haven't changed at all. And I really think, you know, when you're going to play with the tier 3, you probably want to go 3, 4, 5. You do that 2 rotations and then go into the tier 3 because you really can't go into his skills. Like, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if I start out with the 4, it took a little bit for me to go into the 5th skill. So sometimes that 4 might trigger your proc. It might. The 3, you can cancel it immediately, which is good. Let me turn that SFX on. Well, it already is on. Okay. Ah, cool. That is a creepy, creepy look that he gives the screen. Like when he's looking away, looking over there, it's like, I don't know. It's a creepy ass looking skill. And this is a long, long tier 3. And I don't think you can cancel this thing. I'm not really sure if you're going to get more damage with the skill animate FX on or with it off. So let's see how he does against Proxima now. All right, here we go. This will be interesting. And I pretty much am going to bet that Taskmaster is probably going to be mainly a support. I think for most players, that's what he's really going to be. Because I think he's got some power. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. You get a... Wow, that's a big difference in the amount of damage you're doing. So that didn't set off the tier 3. Okay, so I don't... Maybe 345, 345 isn't enough. I didn't need to hit the 3rd skill there. Wow. So we're definitely doing more damage for sure. There we go. And you want to hit your damage accumulation before you do your tier 3. He doesn't go into an iframe during that tier 3 immediately. So you want to make sure you're applying that, getting that damage accumulation from the 5th skill before you go into the tier 3. And actually, Taskmaster with the CTP of Insight is actually on pace to do this. Now, we don't have a heal, so I think it'd been a good idea to have one, to be in all honesty. Wow. So, I mean, we are well on pace to do this. I mean, we're in the middle of the 11th bar. We're at 3 minutes and 44 seconds. So, yeah, he can definitely queue up stage 99 using a CTP of Insight. And I don't even have max critical damage. I mean, the rest of the build is pretty good, except for the ISO A set. It isn't fully awakened. So, actually, that's pretty impressive. That's not bad at all. That is pretty damn impressive. So, let's see what he can do against Null. We'll go down to stage 9. Let's see here. Where you at, buddy? And let's give him 1 support and Mystique. And actually, you know, he can take advantage of Proxima's support passive also because he is a villain. but we'll just throw in a different character here. We're going to use his own leadership. And since we don't have max ignore dodge, we're going to make sure we get some ignore dodge strikers in here. Actually, you know what? I think what we're going to do is we're going to take out Mystique and we're going to put in Valkyrie. That way we get that 30% ignore dodge. That's really going to help. We'll get the 50% damage to the supervillains. And then we got 2 ignore dodge strikers here. And then we do have a healer. Yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll try that. Now, I don't know. You know, stage 9 using a CTP of Insight might be pretty high. Oh. Oh, gather, gather, gather. Tier 3, tier 3. Wow, whoa, whoa, whoa. That was a pretty damn good burst of damage right there. Wow. We got caught in the tornadoes. Wow. He's got some nice little burst damage on that tier 3. Well, I was trying to avoid the cage. Didn't work out too well. Yeah, I definitely think you're probably going to want some healers. I might have to work out a better rotation here. Yeah, he doesn't cancel right into the tier 3 when you're doing the 5. Like, you can't cancel out of the 5 immediately. Ah, shit, we got caught in the tornado. There we go. Man, actually, I think with a damage proc, you probably could do this. Oh, yeah. Took some damage right there. I mean, the tier 3 has got some... It's got a little bit of power, that's for sure. It definitely hits pretty hard. I mean, we are way behind, but we are using a CTP of Insight, right? We are using a CTP of Insight, and that is making a big difference, right? We're not using a damage proc. We're getting the damage proc from the CTP of Insight, but it's just increased damage by 20%. It's not like having a proc where you're getting 200% increased damage or using a CTP of Rage. Let's see what we do at stage 5. And, you know, we're just using a 35% increase of all attack leadership. But he is getting 2 supports. One that's buffing himself, a self-buffing one from his uniform effect, and then, of course, from Valkyrie. I actually would love to put a proc on this guy because I'm actually very curious. Now, right here, we could take a little bit of damage. Well, I'll tell you what, man. I think he'd actually have quite a pretty good amount of damage if we were using a proc. I don't think it would be as much as what we would like to see, to be perfectly honest. Wow. And that was on his 5th skill. Ah, we got caught in the cage. Knew that was going to happen. It's pretty chaotic playing with Taskmaster, in all honesty. There we go. I mean, it really does take a little bit to click on your tier 3. You just cannot go straight into that skill. It is nice, though, that he goes into a bit of an iframe. So I think that, you know, on my account, you know, with almost 90% physical attack and 13% pierce, using a CTP of Insight, that it is probably possible for Taskmaster to do stage 5. I know that's not like super high, right? That's not exactly what we all want to see, but I really feel like Taskmaster, I mean, he's got some decent damage. It's definitely respectful. It's not bad at all. By any means, it's not bad. It's just not as good as some other characters that we have. So I think that's why we're just going to end up using him as a support for the most part, right? And that's why I think really just having a CTB of Insight is probably going to be better. But a lot of you out there, you know, more than likely, you're probably going to put a proc on this guy. And man, he's going to put out a lot more damage than this if he's got an obelisk, a proc on him, right? He's going to do way, way better. But it's honestly pretty damn impressive that even at stage 5, I mean, I got 13% Pierce, but even at stage 5 to be able to be on, I mean, he's a little bit behind, right? Really, you want to be around 3 minutes and 30 seconds when you do this first phase. But, I mean, stage 4 for sure he could definitely do, maybe stage 5. Just using the one support. So, I mean, you know, and he does have the ignored target dodge from his passive, right? That applies to Weapon Master allies, right? Oh, no, he doesn't have the ignored. Yeah, he does by 20%. Okay, my bad. By 20%, right? So I didn't even need both them strikers. I could have used another damage supervillain striker, which actually would have helped. Could have switched out one of them strikers that have ignored dodge for a damage dealt to supervillain. And then having that guaranteed critical rate is actually really nice if you put a rage on him. And here's something to think about. If you have Taskmaster, right, he's going to buff up a character like Bucky, right? And Bucky right now, you know, he's got decent damage. It's respectful, but it really isn't good enough. But because Bucky has the Weapon Master tag right here, he's going to benefit completely from Taskmaster because he's going to get that increased damage out of supervillains and superheroes from Taskmaster's uniform effect, but he's also going to get this guaranteed critical rate. And Bucky doesn't have guaranteed critical rate. So if you have a rage on your Bucky, Bucky can actually benefit from this, and so can Wolverine, right? Even though Wolverine isn't worth a crap right now. And he's going to get this increased skill damage. Let me look at something here real quick. Let me look at something. Does Bucky have increased skill damage on him? Yeah, he's got the skill damage, so he's not going to get the skill damage. They don't stack on top of each other, so never mind. He's just going to get the damage dealt to super villains. But he will get that increased guaranteed critical rate. So that is something to think about. But I do think Taskmaster, I think for a lot of players, is going to be worth tier 3 just because of the fact that he's going to be a great support, right? And if you decide to use him for just strictly a support and you slap on a CTP of Insight on him, he's just going to be that much better. And he does put in a little bit of work. He can do some damage, but you could always put an obelisk on him. If you guys really want to see me slap on an obelisk, maybe a CTP of Energy, or, you know, CTP of Rage, or whatever, CTP of Destruction, whatever, let me know down in the comments, and I will happily do that for you, because he does have some pretty respectful damage. Honestly, surprised me quite a bit, considering I was using a CTP of Insight. So let me know how y'all feeling about Taskmaster, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.